What's up guys, Sam here with the timeline and welcome back to the channel for our second installment of Free Agent Week. If you missed our previous scouting report yesterday on Nerlens Noel, I still encourage you to check that out. But regardless, free agency waits for nobody, and we gotta pump these out as fast as possible. Now it's time to talk about a different type of center, one who is as structurally and fundamentally as solid as they come. Let's take a dive into the game of four-year NBA vet, Daniel Theis. Like many other international talents currently flooding the NBA, the story of Theis' journey to get here is rather inspiring. An undrafted prospect all the way back in 2013, Theis first had to scrap his way through Germany's top league, winning 3 consecutive championships and a Defensive Player of the Year award before signing a contract with the Celtics in 2017 at the age of 25. Since then, he's only added to his game every year. While Theis may still be a relative unknown to the casual fan, his stock has soared among NBA hipsters for quite a while now. The main reason for that is a move that he popularized that doesn't even show up on any stat sheet, the Theis seal. Over the past couple seasons, the Celtics generated a ton of pick-and-roll offense against drop coverages by having Theis set an initial screen that gets the ball handler going downhill, and then using his big body to seal off the drop defender as the ball handler gets an easy layup. This is sacrifice in its purest form. Theis using nothing other than his body to create offense for his teammates and displaying an impressive ability to impose his physicality on others. Of course, this can be a move of questionable legality, and the whistle doesn't always go in Theis' favor, but he brings a kind of edge to your offense that will make him a fan favorite, as well as a target for the opposing fan base. Even speaking purely in terms of box score production, the first thing you'll notice is how incredibly well-rounded Theis' game is. His career 62% true shooting comes on a balanced diet of shots. He's surprisingly lethal now as a face-up mid-range shooter, where he knocked down 50% of his shots this year, wedging him right between the efficiencies of Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic from that zone. That touch also extends out to 3, where Theis has a career 34% clip, although he definitely falls into the category of being a prove-it shooter. The vast majority of his takes from there are wide open. Defenses will leave Theis to send extra help at legitimate stars, and it's up to him to step up and hit the big shots that justify his presence on the court. To date, I feel like he's done a solid job of doing that. A really fun part of Theis' offensive profile to me is his cerebral passing. While he's not routinely playing the role of offensive initiator, Theis' 1.64 assist to turnover ratio points to a player who makes the correct reads within the flow of the offense. Watch him operate out of the elbow and he'll routinely find backdoor cutters. Sometimes he can put a little extra mustard on sharp passes to corner shooters as well. And another big utility of this skill, combined with his mid-range shooting that I already referenced, is being a zone defense breaker. Theis can flash high to about 18 feet, and either pop the shot or else find a different player underneath the basket, which is not something to take for granted from a backup big. Occasionally, though more rarely, he looks even more confident. Here's a fun play where we see Theis contest a shot from Julius Randle and then completely hustle his ass off to beat 3 Knicks defenders down the floor. He stays balanced, leverages the gravity that his drive creates, and then mid-air throws a money pass to an outside shooter. That's insanely difficult for any big in the NBA to pull off, and I suspect it's watching flashes of stuff like this that convinced Chicago to play Theis at power forward in some lineups after they traded for him. Just to address that really quick, in my mind Theis is a center, and I'd be paying him to play center. That's not to say that he can't slide over and play some spot minutes at the 4, but I think all you have to do is look at the net rating for the Theis-Vucevic lineups to see that this guy is most comfortable at the 5. I mentioned earlier how Theis was a Defensive Player of the Year in Germany. A lot of that goes away, unfortunately, when you move to the next level and find yourself trading blows with guys who are consistently 3 or 4 inches taller than you. But even so, Theis has all of the fundamentals down and can play all of the more conventional defensive coverages with a high level of confidence. He has enough lift to adequately protect the rim and enough strength to defend the post against most guys within reason. I wouldn't call him lockdown exactly, but I have no issues labeling him as a positive. Overall, the one word I've got to describe this guy is steady. For basketball fans who get too wrapped up in watching the ball, you might come away from Theis' film not feeling too impressed because he lacks the instant pop, the wow factor. But if you focus on the little ways he impacts the game, the screens, the seals, the hustle, not to mention the way he converts on chances when the ball does wind up in his hands, this is a no-brainer target for basically any team in search of a backup center. I think Theis' impact could easily command the full mid-level exception, but for a good team, he might be willing to take a pay cut. It's hard to tell with guys in this position because things could easily go in the opposite direction too. As a 29-year-old, Theis might see this as his last good chance to secure a bag and pursue another starting position no matter the talent level of the organization. We'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and do me a favor and drop a comment below on what you'd be willing to pay for a guy like Daniel Theis. Of course, if you're new to the channel, I highly encourage you to like and subscribe, and check out all the other content we have. Don't go anywhere, because there's more free agent content dropping very soon. Peace out. Go Suns.